I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special.
I say there's nothing to do, but damn, like, what else do you gotta do? he's a 3-time undisputed champion.
You looking small? What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small? Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford is feared by fighters for a variety of crazy reasons. Even Roy Jones Jr. stated that Canelo appeared uneasy as they stood face to face across from him. Crawford is frightening not only because of his skill, but also because of his ability to remain composed while reading every move. He rarely receives clean hits and punishes errors at the ideal moment, giving opponents the impression that they have no chance of winning.
And that stare down that we talked about when I told you either he's not ready for this or he trying to Bud. He wasn't trying to little boy Bud. He really was afraid. Well, not afraid, but he was worried about Bud. And Bud knew that. And Bud being the older guy, Bud kind of looked him in his eye and made him turn away first. That was a victory for Bud. That was Bud's first victory. Anytime that happens, if something else don't come around or something else don't happen to undo that, you got a problem.
Paulie Malignaggi emphasized how one of the most impressive boxing records was earned by Terence Crawford. It is nearly unheard of in contemporary boxing for him to become an unchallenged champion 3 times. And he accomplished this by taking on the biggest names instead of picking easier battles. In addition to his victories, Crawford's ability to evade punishment, rarely receiving a clean hit despite overpowering opponents, was what Paulie found most impressive. His professional background speaks for itself. 31 knockouts, 41 victories, and no defeats. This run, according to Paulie, was historic and noted that Crawford's most recent triumph over Canelo was not only another win. Like Floyd Mayweather previously dominated his era, it seemed to him like the beginning of a new one. According to Paulie, Crawford has now established himself as this generation's defining character.
Flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special. It's one of those things now, because now I've now seen back-to-back generations of Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford, and man, you know, it's one of those things where now I understand why the people that lived in the Ray Leonard era say, you know, wish we could see Ray Leonard against Mayweather and how that would be. Because it just leaves such an empty feeling when you have such special fighters that were in different generations, and you saw both of them. You know, I saw the entirety of the Mayweather generation. I saw the entirety of the Bud Crawford generation. Just incredible. Really, really incredible. And I know Mayweather gets a lot of hate, but for me, he's a tremendous fighter. And Terence Bud Crawford is in that realm as well. And it's a fight we'll never get to see. So what are we going to do, you know? It'll be up to the fantasy fights, you know. But let's get into it, man. I want to get into the undercard as well and some of my thoughts on the Netflix show. But let's get into the main event first. Crawford really boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly the whole fight. You know, he got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved.
Brian talked about how amazing it was to see Terence. Crawford criticized Canelo, saying that he had not often witnessed such a harmony between attack and defense in contemporary boxing. In the majority of bouts, a boxer is strong in one area and weak in the other. Crawford, however, displayed both with amazing acuity. He demonstrated against Canelo that he could not only nullify strikes with his deft footwork and tight guard, but also quickly transition into attack to take advantage of any opening. Brian pointed out that Crawford stands apart from many other champions thanks to this kind of comprehensive package, because he can develop his own momentum while neutralizing an opponent's weapons. He thought it was amazing to see a fighter not only escape damage, but also subdue a skilled and composed opponent.
See, I think that for me, I watch defense as much as I watch offense. So
Yeah.
like I thought like watching Bud catch those shots off his glove,
He looked amazing.
so amazing.
Yeah,
to
he looked good.
Yeah. He'd
looked
go to a
great.
body and he'd catch that and come up with an uppercut. You know, just all those things that seem.
He looked great.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that to ever.
No one has. Yeah, he's the best.
Canelo.
Yeah,
Ever.
he's the best.
And I think he would do that to Canelo on his best day. His way. And Canelo said it. He goes, "I couldn't figure him out,"
No,
which is why he probably won't fight him again. In a way,
they'll fight again.
you think so?
The payday. Yeah, but so you're gonna get Canelo because the money's in Canelo Crawford, the rematch. I don't want to see it, but I want Crawford to get paid, so might as well do it.
Crawford was praised by Andre Ward, who described him as the most skilled boxer among his contemporaries. Crawford's mindset was emphasized by Ward, who was a skilled mechanic in his own time and claimed that Terence would stop at nothing to accomplish his goals. The only way to defeat a fighter like Crawford, in Ward's opinion, is to actually injure him in the ring. Tactical maneuvers by themselves will never be sufficient. Crawford's flexibility, ability to change positions, and capacity for critical thought put him in a select group of combatants who are able to enforce their will under all circumstances. Crawford's success is not coincidental, according to Ward's perspective. It is the result of perseverance, grit, and an unwavering dedication to conquering obstacles.
Somebody that like I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this, it's different, man.
Additionally, Crawford's path has been profoundly influenced by his home. He frequently remembers how his mother was doubtful but never really sure he would reach the top, while his father had promised that he would one day become an indisputable world champion, giving him faith from a young age. That doubt fueled him rather than deterred him. Crawford always had the intention of disproving her when he entered the arena. With each victory and title he earned over time, he not only fulfilled his mother's pride, but also his father's vision. He looks back on that voyage with contentment today. He is pleased that his family has respected and validated his success.
My dad used to tell my mom I was going to be a world champ.
I told him we would be.
How'd that make you feel? It filled me with rage. And every time I stepped foot in the ring or anything that I ever did, I just wanted to win so bad so I can prove a point to her.
I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Couldn't none whoop him.
You went out on the street.
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And
The kids
offered
in the
$10 to anyone who can kick my son's
Yeah.
butt.
Yep.
And a lot of takers.
Yeah, the
no one
kids
can
in
do
the
it.
neighborhood. Couldn't nobody whoop them.
What did he tell you then?
He told you, Mom, I told you I'm the best.
Crawford discussed his career choices, stating that he never aimed to go undisputed at 154 pounds because he did not observe enough competitive bouts in that weight class. Being uncontested, in his opinion, entails defeating the greatest opponents in addition to accumulating belts. He took the risky decision to look for opportunities at 168 rather than remaining at 154 because he feels there are more formidable names and greater difficulties there that might further solidify his legacy. Crawford's determination to push himself to higher weight classes demonstrates his confidence in doing so, guaranteeing that his career will always be characterized by ambition and risk-taking rather than ease and quick victories.